Hello and welcome to Dateline Lagos on Channels Television. I'm Olumide Macaulay. Coming up on the program, Governor Sanwo Olu flags off commercial operations of Lagos Blue Rail, and Lagos State holds 2023 Parenting Seminar to address boy-child upbringing. The Lagos State Governor, Babajide Sanwo Olu, has flagged off the commercial operations train services in the state by riding on the maiden passenger operation of the Blue Line Rail from Marina Terminal to the Mile 2 station. Governor Sanwo Olu, who was the first passenger at the iconic Marina station of the Blue Line Rail, urges Lagosians to take ownership of the project and warned against pedestrian crossing of the rail tracks because they are electrified.
The Lagos Blue Line Rail, a 27-kilometer project kicked off over 10 decades ago by President Bola Tinubu during his administration as a governor of Lagos. Last year, the first phase was finally completed by the current governor, Babajide Sanwo Olu, and commissioned by former President Muhammadu Buhari in January 2023. Nine months later, the 13-kilometer Blue Line Rail, designed to run from Marina to Mile 2, commenced operation after months of test drive with Lagos residents.
Dear passengers, we are now at Mile 2 station and we are heading back to Marina. Feel free to take photos and videos of this experience. Sit tight and enjoy the ride. Thank you.
Governor Babajide Sanwo Olu arrives at the Blue Line terminal to join other commuters on the first operation ride. The Blue Line is one of the 6 light rails under the State Rail Mass Transportation designed by the Lagos Metropolitan Area Transport Authority, and the payment process is done with a cowrie card, an automated fare collection system already in use in Lagos, as every passenger's access to the train. Governor Sanwo Olu boarded the train en route to Mile 2 with visible excitement and speaks about the train service operation and the completion timeline for the Red Line.
Like I said, it's zoned into 2 zones, 2 different zones. We have zone 1 and zone 2. Okay.
I'm not only excited, everybody on this train is excited, and this is promise made, promise kept, right? We said that we're going to start by the end of last quarter, right? But we also wanted to coincide around our 100 days. So it's part of our 100-day celebration, because now we can start commercial operation, we can start real passenger operation, and you can see all of our citizens are on board with their cowrie cards. We've been able to embark, right? We just left the National Arts Theatre station now. We're going to the Igomu station. From the Igomu station, we'll be going to the Alaba station. From the Alaba station, we're ending at the Mile 2 station. We will all disembark at the Mile 2 station because we need to change the platform on our return journey if we're going back to the Marina station. And you can see Everything is synchronized, it's been timed. The amount of seconds or minutes it's going to stay on each station is known. It's not more than 90 seconds, which is a minute and a half, because it's mass movement. It has to move thousands and thousands of people on both journey, right? So what we're starting with the peak hours, movement, and so we'll have a small lay, and we'll go on the peak hour again. I think from Lamata's time schedule, they're starting from 9 o'clock till 12 o'clock, right? And they will, because it's off peak, they'll wait again till 4 o'clock in the evening, and they'll run the operations again till 7 or 8 o'clock. So for them to be able to gather traffic, because you just don't want to be running an empty, train, so that people get to know it, people get to plan with it, right? And over time, people will now know the scheduling very well, and they can increase and improve their scheduling, as the passenger, passenger traffic increases. We've done a lot of work. We've been doing this advocacy for 6 months. We had to actually pull back, ensure that we've crossed all the T's and dot all the I's. We've done all of the barriers that we need to do. We've put all of the signalizations and all of the signs that will show danger. We've interpreted, doing the communication in various languages, in Yoruba, in Egu, in Igbo. Every of the, of the signs and signals are repeated in different languages, so that people will get to know about it. And so we've done all of these things, right? But you can never be over-prepared. But we ensure that everything that is humanly possible, we've done it. And we'll continue to do the advocacy. The red line is going to be completed before the end of this year, by the grace of God. We're about 95, 96% in all of. So, for the red line, we'll have over bridges. So we're going to start commissioning the bridges maybe by the end of this month, so that passengers and vehicles can start moving on those bridges from, Ikeja along to Yaba Bridge, to Ebute Metta Bridge, to Mushin Bridge, and all of them. So we're going to open the bridges for vehicles to start moving on top, so that will begin the signalization that red line is coming up. Right, we're almost completing the retrofitting of the trains, and they have also started recruitment of train operators, of train managers, and all of that. Then we will start the unveiling of the various stations themselves. Red line is actually, in my view, actually even bigger than the blue line, right? So it will come. It will certainly come. I'm trying to get everything, all the T's crossed and all the I's dot. We're just finishing in all of it. Terminal buildings for the red line. Phase of the blue line. So the second, they've started actually. They've started from we've awarded the contract from mile 2 all the way to Okokomaiko, and by the grace of God, we will cut the tape in this our administration.
It's a smooth journey, less than 30 minutes to and fro, which allows passengers on board to see Lagos from a different view.
In fact, it's everything we've been yearning for asking for. This will bring serious relief to Lagosians when it comes to commuting from one point to another point. The governor of Lagos State, Sanwo Olu, has done fantastically well for putting this project together and making it come to fruition.
From the train station, a lot of people are coming in orderly. It's very beautiful. The ambience, the environment is very conducive as a bus stop or train station. What we can compare to anywhere in the world. So we have our card. Amazing for the first time. You don't need to pay any conductor or anything, and you cash it to enter the gate, and from there orderly to the inside the train. You have opportunity to sit down or hang up. A lot of people want to hang up because they want to see the view. Amazingly, the time is going to start the takeoff, and it was a smooth ride. But the amazing thing about it is that a lot of us have not seen the view of Lagos for a long time. The environment is an amazing thing. See this happening in Lagos at this time, and the speed is regulated. But I know it's going to be increased, in a while, but it's still okay for now.
Others at Mile 2 Station commend Lagos State government for their iconic project.
This is the first time I'm going to use a train service. I've never used a train service before. So I like it's in terms of convenience, that's what the major problem it resolves, right? I like the fact the guys that works in there are very friendly. It's easy for you to make your payments. The ambience is amazing. It's clean, and I'll definitely going to encourage people to utilize the service here. I think working in ambience with the private organization will help, ensure that there's proper maintenance. And we can talk about this because of the BRT services. I'm pretty sure Lamata is the one maintaining BRT service. So I think maintenance will be top-notch between now and the next 5 years.
I want to say a very big thank you to the government of Lagos State for this giant stride. Actually, this is what we talk about when we talk about development. If you go to major cities in the world, you will see what amenities and infrastructures is all about. Today, Lagos has shown that they are a trailblazer in this type of development. If you look at Lagos or other states in Nigeria like Port Harcourt, Abuja, and see what traffic chaotic situation is all about, people wasting man hours on the road, one thing or the other, many disadvantages. You know that the rail system is one of the most modern in the world. And coming with an electric one makes it more efficient and fast. From here to Marina, probably 15-20 minutes, we are through. Unlike when we spend hours. I want to say to the government of the day, Babajide Sanwo Olu and all his team, even the initiators of this project have done noble.
Few days before the inaugural train operation, the managing director of Lamata takes time to educate the public on the dangers of crossing the rail tracks.
We will be stopping at every station. So this is a terminal station. Mile 2 is a terminal station. At Marina and Mile 2, the trains will be stopping for no more than 5 minutes. This is a metro service. So this is not one that you can be wondering to come on. We will be working to a timetable. That timetable will be available on Lamata's website. That timetable will also be available at every station. When the train gets to any station, it will stop for no more than 90 seconds. So you need to, and it's for us to understand that it is a scheduled service. For us now, we're not running any fast services because we're doing this to ensure that the people are truly familiar with the metro system. All you now need to do is proceed to the gates. You tap, the gates open, you go on. It is only once you've done that you have access to the paid section. So the section that we're standing in is the unpaid section. Once you tap and you get into the section behind me, that's the paid section. You go up, there are escalators, all working, there are lifts, all working for the mobility impaired or for those who just want an easier ride and you don't want to do the exercise of walking up to the platform. Once you get on the platform, please stand behind the tactile paving. The tactile paving says that is where you must stand. Don't go beyond that tactile paving so that you can allow the train to come. When the train comes, the etiquette of boarding a train is that you allow the passengers on the train to come off first. To that end, you may see a locomotive in the front of a rolling stock. That is because that is what we will be using to power for now. After 2 weeks, we will increase the number of services, and all of that information we will put out. But in the next 4 weeks, the locomotive will come off the rolling stock, and that locomotive will be replaced, will come off completely, and the system will be completely electrified. That system, that electric system will come on in 4 weeks. We are using these 4 weeks to allow the electrical systems to be tested, but also to allow us and the passengers to understand how to function around the metro system. So that by the time we're fully energized, everybody should be comfortable around the metro system. Even though we are not utilizing the electric power to power the trains that we're starting with, our tracks will be energized. So the message that do not cross the track is pertinent. Please, under no circumstance should anybody get on the tracks, because they are energized. We are just not using it to power the trains for now. When we're doing the testing, they will be energized. So it is important that we must not, all the messages that Lamata has been putting out, all the advocacy, from today we will be on radio, we will be everywhere, we will be on the internet, reiterating what we have been saying for a very long time. Under no circumstance should anybody cross the tracks. Don't, from the platform, say you want to cross to the other platform and say you want to run across. Please don't do it. There are steps, there are platforms for you to do that. Don't cross the tracks. I cannot emphasize this enough, because there is no alternative to life. If you cross the tracks, it will be fatal. So please don't cross the tracks. And I believe that this is the responsible way to introduce an electrified railway system in Lagos, by ensuring that we start without full electrification and we graduate into full electrification. So, yet again, don't cross the tracks. Now, when we are starting, like I said, we're starting with 12 trips. But when we get to full ramp up, we will do, even with just our 3 rolling stock sets, we will be doing 76 trips a day. And I'm talking to 1 trip go, 1 trip come. We will do 76 of those because the tracks belong purely to us. We're able to run this service efficiently and effectively, and we have worked out a timetable that is hugely efficient.
The Blue Line Rail is Nigeria's first subnational intracity rail system that will be fully powered by a coal-electricity distribution company, an 18-megawatt independent power plant, and an uninterruptible power supply for smooth transport service for Lagosians.
Parents have been asked to dedicate time to their boy child and train them to become future leaders. This is according to the wife of the Lagos State Governor, Dr. Ibijoke Sanwo Olu, who was speaking at the 2023 Boy Child Initiative.
If you love the boy child, clap your hands.
It's the 3rd edition of the Lagos Boy Child Initiative at Villa Park Hotels and Suites, Sanwo Olu, Lagos. Primary and secondary school students, parents, traditional rulers, and other stakeholders are here for the 2023 Parenting Seminar.
Apart from Ikeja, the state capital,
An initiative championed by the Office of First Lady, Dr. Ibijoke Sanwo Olu, who's passionate about correcting the imbalance between the girl and boy child. A reason for educating parenting guardians on how best to train their children without neglecting any of them, irrespective of age or gender.
You, ma'am, for being so intentional about the boy child and making sure this happens again.
Top on the discussion is the issue of drug abuse among boys and possible ways of curbing the menace.
Drug abuse will follow some natural stages. And the first one is initiation. Many people will first of all have to go through a period of initiation where they get in touch with the substance. It can be through friends, by peer pressure. It can be just by curiosity. And they ask people, please, this thing that is in your hand, what is it? I say, it's the thing that makes men men. They say, oh, please, can I just test it? And then they get into the experimental use. Experimental use is when you want to find out if what these people say about what they say is true. So you want to know, this thing, this Colorado self, let me see how it is. Or this weed or marijuana, let me even test it and know whether it is what they say it is. And from the experimental use, they get into the regular use. They start to go for it regularly. And from that, they will end up in the abuse of the substance or drugs. Research has shown that the gap between the boys and girls on substance abuse is narrowing down. In other words, more girls are abusing drugs. However, that will not make us to remove our eyes and our attention from the boy child, because the boy child is more likely to be involved in multiple substance abuse.
How best to manage behavioral differences and mentoring boys through the right path is also highlighted by one of the facilitators.
It doesn't matter how many policies we have in the government. We need the parents to do the work. And you must agree with me that we're in a parenting pandemic. And that is why none of us in this hall can just sit back and say to yourself, oh, you know, it's not my problem. My children have turned out okay. If your child have turned out okay, how about the environment of your child? Because we must take responsibility. I want the government to do a lot, but we want to start from individual. The society is the product of the family. It's not the other way around. So the society is what, we have today. It is a product of how our families are running. When people tell me bad governance, Nigerian leadership, I tell them it comes from our family systems. Until we fix our family systems, we go nowhere. And that's why I'm very passionate about parenting. The fact remains that we are raising a different generation. The Gen Zers and the Generation Alpha. I listened to Dr. Konkwo, and he said something. He said we are in a generation where we're raising different kind of people. It's something different about them. Believe you me, it is. Even if it's not, their environment has changed a lot about them. And this environment will include technology. And we must take cognizance of that. Every child is different. There is no child that is the same. None. No child is the same. You can't raise your child, you can't lump your child together to raise them. So we have now begun to see that there are now behavioral issues caused by ignorance of parents. So if you have children, please take them off the screen. I have children who are almost 14. They don't go on the screen more than an hour or two. They don't need to. Allow your children to interact with their environment.
Dr. Ebijoke Sanwo Olu encouraged parents to be deliberate in their actions towards raising a boy child because it requires painstaking effort and counseling sessions.
The youth council, the youth parliament, the youth community out there working tirelessly with the Ministry of Youth and Social Development, you have your own homework. Don't sit down, look. Please, do not sit down, look. These are youths. We have a lot to put back into the system. There are low-hanging fruits. They're the high ones. There's some simple exercises that you can carry out in your communities. Yes, I've heard that you want the government to also be involved. The government will play its part, but the youth too have their own part to play. The community, the homework is to be like informants. Thank God for this initiative. We're hearing that we should check the lands that are being given out, because quite a number of them in Ajegule community are used for hotels. So we need to have our monitors, our wole-woles to check what is happening in the areas. The media, you have homework. The media, your own role is to please stop encouraging bad actors. We have quite a lot of bad mentors out there. You keep on showing them out there. Some of them have a lot of bad morals. They might be rich, but their morals are not okay. Some of their morals are questionable. Let's not keep on promoting such. Our children are at risk. They're exposed to so many things. They can't even control what they are seeing anymore. And that's why you still need a parent figure, a guardian, to still control the minds of our children by telling them what is right. A lot of wrong things are out there that are considered as right. They are innocent, they are young. They need someone to tell them what is right, because everything is just a bit upside down. So they still need us. That is why you are sitting down here today.
The event was rounded off with a presentation of cash and gift prizes by Mrs. Sanwo Olu to outstanding 4 winners of the inaugural talent hunt competition in robotics and mechatronics, asking them to keep up the creative skills, resist from being influenced by wrong peer groups.
That's the program for this week. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Olumide Macaulay. Till we come your way next time, stay safe.